Good morning. You are watching Executing My Ex's Ministries Transformational Tuesdays. I am your host, Ashley D, and I am so excited that we are here to continue to break the chains of these generational curses and bondages that we all have faced and currently facing in each and every one of our lives. This particular week, we are talking about parenting issues as well as health issues. And today I want to highlight the health issues, how we have to go from legacy to longevity by understanding our family health patterns. And I began to think about the fact that if we could be transparent, because it's Tuesday, we don't necessarily have the necessary conversations that we need to have with our families when it comes down to our family history. We'll talk about taking trips. We'll talk about getting this money, out here in these streets. We'll talk about family reunions, but we won't talk about our family history. Now, I am grateful and thankful. If you're anything like me, I am an avid person that like to get checked out. Now, I'm not the one that go to the hospital for absolutely everything. Like, I gotta go because, my arm hurts. But I am an avid person on getting, your annual checkups. I'm going to go for my annual physical. I am going to get my teeth cleaned twice a year. I am going to, ladies, go to the GYN doctor to get checked out, make sure everything's okay. Like, I am very strong on that. And I really have been, I want to say the past 5 to 6 years, because I'm understanding there are changes that are coming with my body as I get older. And if you know, say amen. So listen, I am a person that does that. And every time you go for your physical, they ask you, about your family history, and sometimes it can go as far back as just your grandparents. They ask about any new things that you didn't know that they need to be made aware of so they can better help you. They know what to look out for so you don't go through those same troubles and same issues that your family has been through. So because of those, if you're an avid person that go to the doctor, you know how important that is, so I just want to encourage you today to make sure if you haven't been having those conversations, you need to have them, because you don't know, you can't stop a chain. You can't break the chain if you don't know the history behind it. You have to know where your family has come from to where they have gotten to now. And sometimes it means having those intentional conversations about those health issues, those health concerns. Now, if I could be 100% transparent, there's cancer on both of my sides of the family. There is high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol. It's a lot of different things that go on both sides of my family. So you know what that means for Ashley. I have to be intentional about my health. I have to exercise regularly. Now, it may not be every day. I'm trying to get back to that slowly but surely. But that means I have to exercise every at least 2-3 times a week. That means I need to be better about my water intake. I need to be better about not eating so much fast food, sodiums, carbohydrates, fatty foods, all this grease and all that stuff. I have to be intentional about taking my iron pills because baby, I got iron issues, so it's a lot of different things that I have to be very intentional about because of my family history and because I don't want that to continue on until my children when I have them and the generations after me. So, but that came from me having intentional conversations. That came from me sitting down and saying, hey, what has our family been through? What did granddad and grandma pass away from? Was there any mental health issues? That's also a conversation you need to have because little do you know, they could not put language to those things that they were dealing with back there, but now we could put language to it. And if you just have more and more conversations, you'll begin to find out that, depression may have been one thing they had, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, any kind of mental health issues they may have carried back then, but they didn't know what it was, but now we do. And so now you know what to pray against. Now you know what to fight. Now you know what to be intentional about. I had a friend who was kind of estranged from his father. And even though he was kind of like more adopted, by another family, and, he's been living his best life, being connected to this family, his dad is still very much around. He know where he is. He know how to get in contact with them, but he just refused to. But I had to encourage him. Listen, you have to, I understand your feelings. I understand your issues towards him. However, I think it's very important for you to start, building that relationship, because there's some things that you don't know about yourself that you would never be able to find out if you don't talk to him. If you don't get, have the intentional conversations you need to have in order to have a better understanding of yourself, and not just your characteristics and your character as a man, but also your family health. How, some things may skip a generation, and it may go down to the next, but you don't know how to fight it or to pray about it or to be more disciplined about it if you don't know. And so that is my biggest thing that I want you to get out of this segment, is that you have to know knowledge is power. And when we take out the time to have those intentional conversations about our family history so we can better understand how to handle life now and going forward, we come out so much better. You hear me? Like, things you can break those generational curses. You can break those chains. You can pray about it. And when you get the knowledge that you need, you can become more disciplined. Now, that's one thing that you got to do, is learn how to be disciplined and say, you know what, just because they went through that, I don't, in order for me to stop it here, I have to become more disciplined and say that I'm not going to do this. Listen, I had drinkers, alcoholics, and drug use on both sides of our family. Listen, in my 20s and even in my 30s, let's be 100, I had to learn how to be mindful on my intake, because that it comes from my family history. I'm not trying to be an alcoholic. I don't want my kids to become alcoholics. So what that means, you got to be disciplined. You got to be careful of what you take into your body. And then also back then, food back then was like a lot more natural. Things were grown and everything. Now everything is processed. You don't know what they putting in this food. And so you definitely have to be careful. Back then, they lived to be 90 to 100 years old. Like, listen, my great aunts, uncles, grandparents, and everybody, they live to be in their 90s, knocking on 100. Like, I am grateful to the Lord that my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, is 90 years old. She is the longest living relative that I currently have that is within my reach. Stuff back then, was just more natural, and they grew it, and, they slaughter those hogs and they raise them, but now stuff is so processed. You have to be careful about what you take into your body. And so now, God only promised us 10, so if you live beyond that, that's amazing. But you have to be careful what you take into your body, because now we're not even making it to 70. We're not even making it to 80 because of how life has changed. Food has changed, things has shifted. But you have to be, which is why you have to be intentional about having those conversations about your family history, understanding the changes, the evolvement of life, and being able to, when you have the knowledge, you can become more disciplined. You can break those chains. You can break those curses, because you've had the intentional conversation. How can we build longevity in our family when we don't even understand the legacy? So today, I want to encourage you to have the intentional conversations that you need to have. I'm okay with us having fun. I'm okay with us, being out here enjoying each other, but we cannot plan for our future if we don't understand where we came from. And so today, especially when it comes down to your family health, physical health, emotional health, and mental health, have the necessary conversations with your family so you can get a better understanding about your family's transition throughout these hundreds of years, so you know what to fight against, what to be more disciplined about, and what to pray about to break those generational curses when it comes down to family health, for not only for yourself, but the generations behind you. So I hope something was said to encourage you and make you think on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Thank you so much for tuning in to Executing My Ex's Ministries, Transparent Transformational Tuesdays. I am your host, Ashley D, and I'll see you tomorrow for Worship Wednesday. God bless you.